Today I want to completely redo the Hackintosh tutorial for Hades Canyon, because after the two videos I've posted before, a new GitHub project called HaC Mini turned out to be really great, and it's like a one button to Hackintosh your Hades Canyon. So basically this repository has a Git book, and you can check out osy.gitbook.com, and I'll give the link in the description below. And here you can see this Git book has a lot of descriptions and manuals about how he managed to fix the metal problem and how the Thunderbolt is able to work as if it is an Apple Mac. This is rather important because a lot of Hackintoshes, they just don't deal with Thunderbolt 3 at all, and they just leave it as a USB 3.1 port or something. But because they just don't matter, and we don't have that Thunderbolt Ethernet thing working. But in Hackintosh Mini, everything works so good with open core and with OSY86. His hard work. So first thing first, you'll have to have a Mac already using Mac, whatever it is, like a Hackintosh or a MacBook Pro that is already using macOS Catalina, so that we can download the Catalina from the Mac App Store. So we will start with launching Mac App Store on your Mac and download Catalina. Press get, and your system preference will pop up and ask you if you want to get another copy of your macOS Catalina. Press yes, and you will start your download. And the second thing is download HaC Mini installer. This Hackintosh installer is within the HaC Mini repository, so you can download it in the Git book. It has the link, and just download the newest version. And the current version when I post this video is version 2.6, and you can download newer, and OSY86 and other members of this repository will continue upgrading the functions, the perfection this Hackintosh tool. So the next thing we're going to do is to prepare our installer drive, the external drive or thumb drive something. Simply press the spotlight button on your top bar of your macOS and then type in disk utility. This will bring up the tools we need to prepare the installer drive. And you can see I'm using a SanDisk iXpand. So first thing first, you want to press the view button and show all device, so that you can see the drive itself instead of all partitions. And click on the drive, not the partition, and then you can click erase, so you can erase it. This is a rather important part. You must erase it to a GUID partition map, so that we can use UEFI to boot up the system, because our computer and non-Macintosh cannot recognize Apple partition map or MBR, because MBR, it doesn't contain an UEFI partition that all CMOS or UEFIs will recognize, so that we have to do it as a GUID partition map. And the work will do it itself, and once it's erased and we're done, basically done here. And once our copy of macOS Catalina has already downloaded, we can reach out to Google to search create install media, so that we can have the Apple's latest tutorial on telling you how to create and install media on your thumb drive using Apple's internal tool. And it's easy, so you can simply watch the video and find the Apple support thing to reach for that command line. And I will also link this Apple support page in the description below in case you haven't found it. So basically there is a create install media section of this tutorial, and you can simply use your spotlight search to launch your terminal, and then copy and do a little bit of editing and make it installing into your USB thumb drive, and make sure this goes right, because in case you're doing it wrong, you will erase your target drives, everything. So that make sure this drive is right for you. After the macOS Catalina has installed on your thumb drive, you can launch HaC Mini. And in HaC Mini, you can see the descriptions that telling you what HaC Mini is capable of doing. And if you click a continue and until a page that tells you the install location, you will have to change the install location into your thumb drive, which is already an installed macOS Catalina drive, and use that to install your HaC Mini, because you are going to put it into a non-Mac. To Hackintosh it, you will have to install it into this thumb drive. And after that, you will be able to customize your install options. Basically, what customizes is to tell this installer that you are installing into an installer. So we will click Patch OS 10 installer. And some boot options, I would recommend you to turn on the show boot menu, and some other things like drivers. It's completely on you, because this thing is going to be get rid of, because this thing is in your USB thumb drive. It's not in your target Hackintosh. So after some running, and basically the installer has already patched, and you can use this thumb drive to basically boot up any system, but I recommend doing this only for Hades Canyon. So to boot up this Hades Canyon, you will have to change some BIOS settings. So if you press F2 really repeatedly during a cold boot, you will be able to get into the Intel Visual BIOS settings. And here, if you don't know what you have changed before, you can simply restore it into default settings, and then start over. What we are going to do is only one thing, is to disable SecureBoot, because SecureBoot is it's not supported by Hackintosh bootloaders. And here bootloader means HaC Mini and the open core bootloader within. So we'll have to disable the SecureBoot and just save a reboot. It's going to be fine. So after this reboot, you will hit F10 rapidly and so quickly. And in here you will choose your thumb drive. In here it's the USB IX band. You can just launch it, and it will launch the open core bootloader. And here we will use install macOS Catalina external quote. So this is our installer in our thumb drive. You will choose this in your first boot, and you won't be choosing this in your second or third boot, or maybe when it's finished. It's going to it depends. So after this selection, you will be able to boot into your thumb drive, and your macOS Catalina installer looks like this, looks like a real Mac, and do your install thing as you usually will do. And during this installation, you will have to keep your thumb drive in your Hades Canyon at all time, because that is the only thing that contains your bootloader, as well as your OpenCore. And OpenCore is the only thing to boot up your system for now, because OpenCore is not installed onto your internal drive yet. But after the installation, you can use your thumb drive to boot into your internal drive, and then install HaC Mini again into your internal drive, so that your internal drive boots itself without the thumb drive. So basically, in your already booted up internal drive, you will be able to get into your macOS, your Hackintosh, your HaC Mini. And after the installation, when you boot into it, you will have to install HaC Mini again onto your internal drive. I'll show you how. And click continue, and agree the terms of service, and then you customize. And here you don't need to select patchOS 10 installer, because it's installing into your internal drive. But there is some boot options you will have to see. You can enable a boot security, you can enable debug mode, and you can enable show boot menu. And the Thunderbolt thing is it's really cool, because no one else do this before. You can do the native Thunderbolt option, so that your macOS can use this as if it is a real Mac. In most of the Hackintoshes, the Thunderbolt bus is not working as a Apple Thunderbolt bus. It works as a PCI bridge, like you can connect some peripherals through your Thunderbolt 3 port, but it works as a PCI thing. It's not working as a Thunderbolt thing. So with this enable, you can use Thunderbolt Ethernet and Thunderbolt whatever very native peripheral things you can use, but your Windows will not be able to use it anymore, and it flashes the Thunderbolt firmware within the Thunderbolt chip inside your Hades Canyon, which is really cool and no one has done it before. And here you can select other drivers like whatever green, and this thing actually they have already well documented in the Git book, in OSY86 Git book site. So make sure you have checked it out and see whatever it works for you or not. And then you can click install to install whatever you want in your system. And after that, your Hackintosh will be bootable without the thumb drive, and your work is done. Do whatever you like, and if you like it, hit it up like, and sometimes maybe consider subscribe to my channel. And I might be uploading better videos, but it takes me a long time to prepare my laziness basically. So thank you for watching this video. See you again.